was it going to be better than two stupid dogs?
Yeah, actually, it's called educated ignorance.
Educated ignorance. Now, see, he already got a better. He got a better title.
He came with something good. Educated ignorance.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for that.
Yeah,
soon.
it's coming soon. And then I just kept talking to him about it, and then I ended up jumping on theirs on Best Friend Weekend, and then it just kind of stuck. Mm-hmm. And one time we got on it together, all three of us together, and I was like, "Hey man, this sounds good," and here we are.
Okay.
Y'all a dream team.
I mean, I will say because we've
the
done
big three.
We've done
literally
I like that.
Three-headed monster.
We've done a podcast with Mr. Nice. It was called what was it called?
Blackbuster Video.
You know what? Pop up Blackbuster Video.
Blackbuster Video.
One of the Blackbuster videos.
Blackbuster Video is funny.
Belly.
Blackbuster Video is hilarious. And if y'all look at this video, Blackbuster Video, I think the first thing y'all gonna notice is that's not me and Carlton Banks. That's not us.
We didn't.
Go ahead. Go ahead and cut. We did cut this on the podcast.
We did
you know what I'm saying?
The Q rating on it, and the
Somebody
version with you guys wasn't
that our voice sounded exactly.
No one liked you people.
The same.
No one.
They said
No, they said y'all
nobody.
sound the same.
They
A
said
lot of
we
people say that.
sound the same.
Y'all
I
have
really
to
do.
be
Like
in
the way
a
they said
visual
the Migos
format.
sound the same. Yeah, but they didn't call us back for the visual. They didn't call us back for the
Did
visual.
not.
You know what it's like?
Don't try to change your voice now.
No.
You're talking about,
You know what it was like? You know what I felt like?
Did not. This the way.
I-
This
I
is
could-
No, you
this
said,
the, This the way I talk.
I could finally.
That's it.
I could finally relate to a big pop culture moment, and this is like from a while ago when I picked up my phone and I saw the video of Blackbuster Video. Now I know how LaToya and them felt
Wow.
when that Destiny's Child video came out and they wasn't
Say
in it.
my name.
I
Say
was
my
like,
name. It was
yo,
like my name ain't in this.
I was even
Goddamn.
listening.
That's not
I was
it.
even listening for the vocals. I was like, did they use my voice? Did they just replace me out?
Pour the Snoop Dogg on.
But I like
Put
what
another
y'all-
nigga with a beard.
We wanted to
A
bring
better
up,
looking nigga with a beard.
Rick Ross Jr. Look, great value, Rick Ross.
I did want to bring up the fact that it's not just Best Friend Weekend, like you said. You two have a podcast coming. You and Raj had a podcast. Even when we were talking yesterday, you were saying that you had a deeper conversation that you wanted to have with.
Yeah, I've been doing a series of interviews called Nothing Nice to Say Without No Nice.
Yeah.
And those interviews, you've been on a few of those. So one that's got some of the highest traction is the Woke series.
Yeah.
We did Woke Part 1, Woke Volume 1, Woke Volume 2, where we're talking about things that affect the black community, and we just really kind of getting into a deep talk about what's the definition of wokeness. What's that all about? And like, what does that really mean to someone? Like, we throw the term around, so-and-so is woke, or they're not, or they sleep. And we really kind of took some deep dives into that. So I want to I'll interview different people and have nothing nice to say and just talk about movers and shakers. But the one me and Devon was talking about yesterday was my mom was on the. She said, "Hey, I listened to y'all podcast, and you guys were just saying that you got Mom Deuce listening, right?"
Yeah.
When and she was like, I just want you to do two things for me. One, stop saying the F word. You said F, like the other two guys didn't say the F word as much as you did. You were saying it a lot. So, and the other thing is stop saying the N word. And I was like, I could do one. I can.
You like, I'm not giving up.
Yeah, I mean, I give no F's, so I could give that up.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. I don't have to say it. I was like,
Don't have
I
to.
could say it for emphasis when it needs to be, but I don't
Yeah.
have to say that. You're right, mother. I was like, but the N word, the ship is
Yeah.
kind of sailed on that one. I think we grew up in. I was like, I'm willing to have that conversation with my mother on air.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get her on the podcast so
Oh,
we
that's
can have that
that's a
conversation.
good one.
Like, I want to talk to my mom about her thoughts on it, and versus like kind of the way I see it. And I just feel like we came up in a time where the people we grew up looking up to were the Snoop Dogs of the world. Like, right? Tupac. This was like, these were the superheroes to us when we were, and they was the ones with their pants sagging and saying the N word. And I mean, it became what we did in conversation with one another, and it's so entrenched in how we communicate with each other as black men that it's hard to shake that one.
I mean,
and I don't even understand why I would want to, though.
Even your family, like, I mean, on our mom's side, my grandfather, God rest his soul, called me nigga so much, it probably was my name at a point. Like, that's just what it was.
Mom
So
gonna call you out on that one.
she knows I spent a lot of time with her daddy.
You were
so-
sitting there.
Nigga
You were talking about like your mom
Gnarlton.
was pointing out because your mom hears you cursing
Yeah.
way louder than everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you say one, and she's like,
That's one. Yes.
Another.
Because you could be sitting across
That's
from somebody that's just cursing up a storm, but you say it once and she's
Most definitely.
But you know, and then I called my pops like the next day. I was like, "Hey, my mama said stop saying the N word." He was like, "Well, you better stop doing that, nigga." But he just clowning about it because it's funny at that point. But like, you know, he gets it. It's a thing though.
It's always scary when you find out your mother listens to the podcast and then she has notes and take you like, I know I said this.
Like our dad listens to the podcast.
My mother tell me all the time, like, boy, you really don't have no sense. Like, there's no way I didn't raise you to be like, what's wrong with you? I was like, I don't know. She
knew what was going on. Yeah, if she knew what the abbreviation for CAP meant. We're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep that one.
Keep that to
we're
the side.
gonna hold that one.
But yeah. Like our dad listens. He listens pretty much religiously, and then he'll send notes.
Hey, Pop.
But then he'll also be like, because, you know, he don't listen to none of the music or none of the guests. So he's like, so that Big Bad Cab. And it's like, talking to my dad about Big Bad Cab. Like, it's hilarious. But, like,
the conversation with your dad is going to be different than the conversation with your mom.
Absolutely. Because my dad has never brought up the cursing. He's just be like, all right.
Nah, he just starts in the middle of stuff. He came to me one time. We were at a family function. He was like, so you really think my brother's barbecue is better than everybody? I was like, we recorded that like 9 months ago, man.
9 months ago.
I have no idea. You
that.
need to let me know what you're saying. You just came up to me and started talking. Like,
but to him, it just came out.
Yeah.
I said, now we know it. Now we know what that is.
Man, we recorded. I don't know what happened. That was last week.
Well, I was bringing that up too because it's just like the show. Because I mean, even the tie-in because we're still a music podcast, Wu-Tang. Like y'all are kind of like setting up different podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So you somebody can come to y'all for whatever they want to listen to. If they want to have like, I just want to listen to a fun podcast where people are just talking mess. Cool, we got Best Friend Weekend. But you can also move over to like the Stay Woke series. You can move over specifically to like the Blackbuster movie series. You can move over to
Insecure.
Insecure, where y'all were doing a tie-in of all the Insecure episodes from the Hot Boys. So y'all are doing like different ones, and it's like
Educated
everybody
ignorance.
can have. You already have
Educated
your
ignorance,
nothing nice to say. So and even so much too, like. Some of these things cross over. Y'all will talk about the seriousness. I mean, Best Friend Weekend is a fun weekend. That's supposed to be fun. But even y'all had a moment of controversy on the Best Friend Weekend because it's just y'all going to hang out.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that. Where was this? Where did it occur?
You all right, my brother?
Yeah, I mean, it's
a little choked up.
It brings back. Okay, we were in D.C. Our latest Best Friend Weekend, Memorial Day weekend. We went out to D.C. And just as the abridged version, I'm not gonna get too deep into it.
Because y'all have, and that's the other thing.
Yeah,
we'll talk
you can
about
go
it.
listen
But
to
y'all
a whole
have
podcast.
you have a 3-part podcast,
3-part series,
3-part
podcast.
series where you can go into in depth. So we're gonna go in just the general, and we're gonna show a quick little video.
They
but
got
the
that
show-
work.
strokes.
They gave them boy that work.
We did give them that work. Like it was like we aired them out. So long story short, we booked the Airbnb, and you know how the Airbnb booking thing is. Airbnb and While Black is a thing, right?
Yeah.
So one of our guys who travels with us for Best Friend Weekend, we said earlier, CNH Chase, is a white guy, and he lives in I don't know, Tennessee, I think, Alabama, somewhere, Georgia, somewhere, one of those old,
same place.
one of those. Anyway,
Chase from Tennessee sounds correct. Go ahead, keep going.
Anyway, he was like, he books the Airbnb for us because we don't want any problems, we don't want no smoke. Let the pretty face.
That's a thing. Like,
yeah, like
no,
yeah.
it really is.
I know it is.
It's a real
Like,
thing.
No, I mean literally, we went to book an Airbnb for a Best Friend Weekend before, and they would say no, it's booked, and I'm like, well, if it's booked, then why do y'all still have it up? And then we would get Chase to go in and
Book that
and try to book the same one, and then they'll start a rapport with
Yep.
you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
these things happen. We're not making this up. A lot of people have that same experience. It's a thing that happens.
Yeah.
And also, even before we get deeper in the story, you're very clear with the guests what this is. Like, these are just a bunch of guys that
Coming
are
to
getting
record a
together,
podcast
old
and
college
shit.
friends. We record a podcast. You explain it.
business in
So
the
you're like,
area.
yo, we're not flipping over tables.
Oh,
or
no,
whatnot.
no,
Like,
no.
this ain't like we'll go to other places to party.
Yeah.
We just need a spot that's
That's
big
a-
enough to stay.
That is a thing that we discuss with everyone who's there. What do we say, Los? Partying's going to take place outside of the house.
Yeah.
Every time.
We will be in there drinking,
Yeah.
but we're not throwing
Yeah.
parties in the house.
Yeah.
So we get there, and there's a huge like storm in D.C. when we're landing. My flight gets diverted to Richmond, Virginia, and I land over there, and I got like a 2-hour layover where I'm just sitting there waiting.
Did you see Pusha T?
Some people, I didn't see Pusha.
Oh, okay.
They so then I get to the house and Chase's flight got pushed back super far too. So he got pushed back to like late at night. He was supposed to be the first one there. He didn't end up getting there until like his flight didn't land until like midnight.
Okay.
So we end up getting to the house, and it's myself, Rumble, I think the uncle was there, and Raj. So it's the 4 of us and John Murray. So 5 guys in the house. We had booked the house for I think 8. So 5 people were there. We walk into the house. We just chilling, whatever, drinking, about to go out. All of a sudden, the back door swings open, and it's some people just at the house, like, "Oh, yes, officer." They're on the phone with the police. "Yes, officer." "Yeah, they're not doing anything, but yeah, no, these aren't the people who are supposed to be in this house. No, this is a false booking. We're canceling the booking right now. They need to get out." And then I'm sitting
Now,
there.
they have not
addressed
you
Nope,
at
nothing.
all. They haven't rung the doorbell.
Nothing.
They haven't made a call.
Nothing.
They have not contacted Chase.
Kyle did none of those things.
Okay.
Okay.
Can kicking
They
Kyle.
just
Can
came
kicking
in-
Kyle in cancellation Karen.
So-
Cancellation Karen.
They came in the house
Uh-huh.
already on the phone with the police.
Kicking Kyle.
Cancellation
Cancellation Kyle.
Yeah.
All right.
Cancellation
but
Karen.
yeah, don't.
Oh, cancellation.
Don't-
Karen.
yeah,
Don't
Can
mess with their
kicking
name.
Kyle with all K's.
Yeah, I get what you
I
meant.
take it
Gotcha.
we're gonna find out why his
Yeah.
name was Can Kicking. But
So
go ahead.
yeah, and he walks in. I mean, they're outside. They don't walk in. They're standing behind like the burglar bar. So they weren't gonna come in. They were just on the phone with the cops, like posturing. And I was like, "Hey, look at the Airbnb.
Yeah.
Look at the names. We can show you our IDs." He's like, "Well, show us ID." I pull out my ID. He's like, "I don't want to see the ID." I'm like, "Okay, this is some."
Oh, and
this-
second point, not to
yeah.
cut off your
Go
story.
ahead.
Y'all are all listed on the air because y'all know
Yes.
how Airbnb works. So this
Yes.
ain't a thing where it's like Chase booked it and ain't say nobody
Yeah,
else
no,
in
no,
the
no,
house.
no.
So
And we got our good clothes on, too.
Everybody that's on,
We got our good clothes on.
Good clothes on.
proof that clothes don't matter.
Yeah.
Clothes don't
It
make
all-
the
it
black.
don't. It
The
Clothes
hoodie
don't
don't
make the
matter.
black man.
So
It
they
don't make
would
the color,
they
boy.
would not have cared if you were in a hoodie or a suit.
Yeah.
You said,
No.
"Look, here are all of our names
hoodie suit,
on
though.
the
No.
Airbnb."
We just need a white hoodie.
Wow.
We was in the wrong
But
hoodie.
The
you
white
said-
hoodie.
Yeah.
So you showed them.
Oh.
You showed them. This is my name.
Ding,
I'm
ding,
on the
ding.
I don't wanna
Airbnb,
see
and
it.
he said, "I don't want to see it."
And then all of a sudden, I hear boom, 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 front door. So I go walk to the front door, police. 3 squad cars, lights, woo, 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 woo. 4 cops, DC area police.
Because they're treating this like it's a break-in.
Yeah,
Okay.
intruders in the house. Everybody come out. Everybody out the house. So they take us all out the house. And I was able to talk to the police before they came around to the front, drove around from the back of the house to the front, and
okay.
say, "Look, this is what's happening." I'm sitting here and I'm spooked because I'm like, in the moment, I'm like, I don't want to reach for my
It's
phone.
the police.
Like,
Yeah.
all kind of shit is going through my head. I'm
And-
like,
and
I
what
don't
time
want to
is
get
this?
smoked out here.
What
It's like
time?
midnight
This is midnight during a storm.
during the storm.
Too, during
In
a storm.
DC.
Okay, y'all
In
are
DC.
outside midnight, DC, during a storm. All right, you get pulled out the house.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking to the cops. Karen and Kyle are coming around the side.
Yeah, and the cops quickly see it for what it is, and they're like, they want some proof from Chase, and I'm like, Chase is in the air. He's like not. He hasn't even landed yet.
Okay.
So then eventually Chase does land, and I put him on the phone with the police. The police are like actually 100. Like the young lady,
Shout out. DC
police
Metro
officer,
Police.
She was
Okay.
like, okay, I see what's going on here. And she gets into a verbal altercation. I guess not altercation, but just an exchange with the homeowners.
Kerfuffle.
And
Maybe.
they
Can kicking Kyle.
a kerfuffle of sorts.
Yeah.
And they got that's where he gets the name Can Kicking Kyle, because they went level 15 of aggression and upsetness. Well, these people are in our house. What are they
Yeah.
doing? They're in
Yeah.
our house. And
Are they gonna have a
I
step
don't know
competition? I
these
can't
people.
not.
Like,
Have they have at this
so the
point?
issue is, can I go back a step?
Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm just saying this. How would they even know that we're there, right?
Exactly.
They're looking at the cameras.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
The,
Exactly.
ring
Ring doorbell.
doorbell and such.
Yeah.
And they just see a group of black people, and they're like, these people aren't supposed to be in our house. I'm like, well, what people are supposed to be here? This is an Airbnb. Like,
It's
you're
gonna be
not
strange.
going to know that there was like strangers are in our house. Everybody's a stranger
At
who's in
any
an
point,
Airbnb.
What are you
at
saying,
any
Can
point,
Kicking
do
Kyle
they
and Cancellation
address
Carol?
y'all at all?
No, they didn't
do
wanna talk to us.
So they don't talk to you at all.
No, they didn't talk
so
to
the
us. They
last
talking to
thing they
police.
really talk to y'all about is like when you're showing them, hey, we're on the
Yeah,
list for Airbnb. Here's the app. They're like, I don't want to see that.
Well, I don't know if Chase it. And then the homeowner, what she tell? She was like, I want Chase to send a picture
Yes.
with himself at the
And his
airport
ID.
with his ID.
Yeah, so he had to hold his ID up and his face and take a selfie
Are
with
you
it.
serious?
Yeah.
She wants a
And
selfie.
then when he sent it, It was like, oh no, wait, no, send me something. They're trying like it. I think that really that's their game. Their whole game is book people.
We didn't know Chase
We
had
don't
black
like
friends.
you. We don't like you. Put you out of our house. Keep the money.
Okay.
That's how they get out.
So wait a minute now. Did y'all get kicked out the house?
So they canceled our reservation.
Okay.
So they were like, y'all can find somewhere else to stay. So we contacted Airbnb. Airbnb didn't give us any options to go anywhere else. That's when Los and a couple of other guys had pulled up. They didn't give us any options to do anything different. Yeah. So we were basically in that house on a canceled reservation. Like each time we left, we were like, oh, our stuff might be gone.